Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the FSL Valorant Open number 3. And of course, I just have to say, sometimes things are unfortunate and they do happen. Sometimes you just have to play with ping that slightly higher, but it is in the rule book. If you want to participate, and yeah, you still got to play on a Singaporean server because FSL we are from Singapore, and I mean maybe the best you could do sometimes is to use a VPN or something. I don't know, but yeah, it's unfortunate, but it happens. But let's all keep things civil in the chat, guys. Come on, let's chill. We're still here to have a good time and play some good games, and just to have a ball watching crazy shock dart lineups that take down Killjoy lockdowns down to the very final second. So it's awesome, but they still managed to put up I think a pretty decent show. But
Yeah.
enough of that. Now we're going to go on into our next game, which is up in the upper bracket, right? It's SXG versus the Impaler, the team that ran Viper plus Sky on Icebox. So this is going to be fun, and we are your casters. Hey, I'm Quack, and of course, still trapped in my room, it's going to be Kiki.
And we are, of course, sponsored by Intel and Yahoo. See the sponsors are down below on the lower left part of the screen. And they're basically making it happen for us. Like if you're using Intel processors, they're on the 11th generation right now. They work really well for Valorant. And if you need those frames, like if you have a high refresh rate monitor, which you should have, by the way, when you're using when you're playing Valorant, it really just helps a lot having those consistent frame rates. And if you like streaming as well, they do have those higher end processors as well if you want to stream while playing. So I believe a lot of our players are also streamers. At least a subset of them are. And I believe that the Intel processor will definitely fulfill your needs. And again, we're going to go into the game with Impaler against SXG. It's going to be an interesting matchup because both teams are actually been demolishing the competition. I believe SXG had a really close game against Camaraderie Hearts. So we are going to the draft shortly, and we are going to see the agent lineups. There is your Sky, actually, on SXG, not the Impaler.
Oh my. Well, the map is split. I would expect Rue, I guess, at least to go with the Sage, but both sides have Sages. Yeah, my god. Okay, wait. Let's hold up for a second. The Impaler, we have Mochi subbing in for one of the players from before.
Oh,
So
she's subbing in for Chloe, who was in the chat.
Interesting. Okay. So there is a slight difference. I mean, one side has a Sky, one side has a Breach. What do you think for a map like Split?
What we were talking about how the
oh my god, they're all
Sky...
using the Pride player cards.
Oh, that's great. It's all aligned.
We have all colors of the rainbow. Happy Pride Month, everyone.
Happy Pride Month, everyone. And we were talking about the Sky. The flash is being really good for Icebox because it's really open. Sky's flash just works everywhere. Like even in close corners, it works pretty okay. But Breach does well on Split because the walls are there to your advantage. Like the walls on Icebox aren't that conducive to the flash. Meanwhile, the Hawk is. But on Split, I would say both would actually work.
Depends on how you use it, I guess. But
yeah,
I kind of prefer Breach's ult on Split. Just because, Rolling Thunder, you can effectively take down a whole site.
Yeah, the sites are in a really good spot for Breach when to use the Rolling Thunder. And I think the corners on Split are particularly important. So those corners can be cleared with the stun as well. But meanwhile, Sky also has the Wolf. So I think both can really work depending on how to use it. So they get information. So Sky does give you information. So on defense, starting on defense, actually, the Sky might be better.
Let's see, still is 5 players all just pushing out of A. Caper Daddy trying to get some information on Deny anything up towards ramps though. And here we go. It is the doggo that is going down the ramps. It does clear out one player, I think, but the paint shells did make it a trade. Now it's back to a 3v3, and the Donut is holding down the side of screens. The rest of them, though, actually are up on Heaven, making their way down ramps. It's gonna be a full 3v3 fight head on. They know exactly where these players are, and Mochi has their number. She's watching that angle, gets the first headshot, a double, make that a third! Mochi with the triple kill! Oh my god!
She just popped all of them there. Like there was 2 quick headshots, and the 3rd kill was just the cherry on top, right? Like even if she didn't get the 3rd kill, those 2 were wow. And I think she's feeling the adrenaline right now. She stopped moving for a second there. That was just insane. That was absolute bonkers right there. We're gonna see the instant replay here. Rue on the defense on the spike, but didn't even need to do anything because Mochi just finished everyone off.
Were they all?
And that was a classic. I'm not sure.
My God.
It seemed like they were right clicks from the way that she was firing.
That is okay. You know, people love ASMR, and like, there's this whole thing about, you know, satisfying videos going on. And it's like, what, they scrape the kinetic scent or whatever that is. But this is my ASMR. You click heads that well. Oh my god, that's awesome. Let's see if you can do the same thing. They don't know that she's here. She denies the spike plant, but gets immediately no headshots. And of course, the blue bot buys a little bit more time as well. But the Spectres will spray all over the place. The donut tracks the one down, dropping into hell. Paint shells will kind of stop them from going forward. They still have to watch for Garage, though. Look at where she is. She's coming up the back, but Aphrodite immediately knows where to look, and the donut with the headshots. They don't even need to get the spike down. But there we go. We'll get it for money anyway.
Oh wait, no, they didn't.
No.
Economy.
What a good start.
Yeah, it's a really good start for the Impaler. SXG, we have Chie, Saki, CCVV, and Shi. They are from China, actually. So that's why they're playing with 70-80 ping. So they are playing all the way from China. Meanwhile, on the Impaler, we have 4 Singaporeans and 1 Malaysian, I believe. Mochi X with 28 ping.
Okay. Well, they are doing pretty well, decently. You know, striking on slightly higher ping, but let's see what happens. Of course, we kind of have the home field advantage in Impaler, but they're going to be blast packing into the site anyway. And that's the strength of the breach. You have the flash punch to support your crazy fast entries, and of course, Aphrodite still lurking on the back side. She's able to take anyone down if they try to push through ramps. Still though, it's going to be Saki going with support from the Trailblazer. Does not find anything though, as Envious takes her down, and Verdona just trying to cut them off that rotates, but guess what? They have Phantoms. It's going to be a double kill for Vivi, and all of a sudden, it's down to a 3v2. The heals come back in as well. This could be difficult for Rue to stop. They know that she's here as well, so it's coming down to this tight peak. It's going to be the paranoia that blinds her. Aphrodite, though, from ramps. 1v2 scenario. She has a Spectre, goes in for the peak, and CC's just buying time. Drea just sticks onto the spike anyway, and of course, they don't win the bonus round, so it's going to be a 1-2, and SXG showing that even on high ping, as long as they have the rifles, they will be able to take those wins.
Yeah, they were thinking about the rest as well, and I feel like the rest could have been used there because they only have 2 rifles now, and this is a good time for the Impaler to flip it around, right? You ruin their economy if you actually win this next round. So one thing that the attackers have on VALORANT that defenders don't is the extra 300 from spike plants. So when you're thinking about economy, the attackers actually have the slight edge if they can get spike down.
Yeah, so far they haven't gotten it down post round yet, I guess. But now that they have the full buy, I don't know, could be potentially a possible thing in the future. They are going to pick up the Altorch though, and that's something that I love to see from teams. It is a very important resource, and of course farming that will build up towards their ultimates, and right now they're just playing a little bit safer, not giving up that much information, but of course the SXG players seem to know that there are players in Garage as well as mid. Of course, if not, at the very least that Nanoswarm will give it away. It does not clear Saki. Still, she's going to spray down the wall, which effectively lets people know that she's there. Now they're just trying to take Heaven, make it a B-split push. Still though, that's the paint shells, the slow orbs, they're doing so much work. Goes in to clear it. Unfortunately, Aphrodite will fall, but hey, Sheriff headshot, she picks up a weapon for free. I mean, not for free, but that's still pretty nice. Mochi having a tough time connecting her shots though. And now they don't
One
know that
enemy
he's
remaining.
wrapping around this other Impaler.
Oh.
Oh my god! This is a triple kill in this round for her?
It's a double for her. I think it was 2 for her and 2 for Ru as well. Or was it 3 for Ru? I think Ru got the triple and Dodona got 2. Yeah, that was a great round for them. It was kind of a half eco. They had sheriffs on 2 of the members, Spectre on 1.
Here.
And they made it work. And with all those headshots, they just made it around expensive. And the Impaler, I think they're off to a good start because they have better economy right now. SXG have to eco here. They only have classics, I think. They can't even buy pistols.
You should
Oh,
run.
that's just gonna be that much more difficult. Plus the lockdown,
Stand down.
which I guess might be unnecessary if SXG aren't on the best weapons right now. But still, this will at the very least give them the sight. They get the spike down. It's extra economy. And just a lot better for the Impaler right now. Still though, the way that SXG are playing, it's barely safe. Okay, it's aided by
One
the paranoia.
enemy
and
remaining.
then but
Who's got this
of
snap?
course, without the firepower, it's just not enough. And of course, I think Envious picked up a triple kill in that round as well.
But it felt like I'm not sure actually. Envious, I think it was a triple because she was below Ru just now. So I think that was a triple for Envious. But I think that they committed the ultimates because you don't want SXG on their eco round to get a few guns, and if they win that'll be really bad for the economy. So committing those ultimates to further your lead and secure your economy, I think, is actually not a waste. They actually even use the Rolling Thunder there, so not just the lockdown, but also the Rolling Thunder from Mochi X. But using that economy to make sure that they don't get free upgrades from the guns, force them to spend money for their own guns and secure the round, I think is a good way to use those ultimates.
Oh, but Flash Pack gets denied. Oh, that's not what you want to have happen. Still though, kind of a trade, 4v4. They make it even. And Vivi's just gonna straight through the smoke. Actually finds Mochi's
Spike
head.
down B.
4v3 now. Has the res.
Your duty is not
Playing
over.
it safe.
Your duty is not
Wow. Really double res, but the other one does not work out successfully.
Oh, Dodona actually gets a kill from her nade onto Vivi as well. I believe the Killjoy was picked off by the other Killjoy down mid. So it's down to a 3v3 right now because of the one more pick off across the map.
Seems like they're kind of thinking the exact same thing, but well, the Impaler's Raze has her blast pack, and there we go. Showstopper. It's going to take Saki
30
down.
seconds left.
The donut opens things up for her team. Smoke comes forward. They get the plant. It's going to be a 2v3 retake, which is one that's slightly difficult for SXG.
Yeah, there's the wall as well, so there's really only one place where they can come from.
And
So
both are
for the-
sentinels too.
Yeah, for the Impaler, they just need to set up this nice crossfire here.
Let's see. There's
One enemy
Fourth
remaining.
and just already spotted them. Does not get the second headshot, but of course, that's the crossfire. Kind of. Dodona just goes in for the trade.
Yeah.
5-1. And this is kind of the difference that we're seeing. I mean, earlier on, it was also that kind of, I guess, maybe slightly Team Phenomenal versus Komarevi Hearts. It was also on split. But this time, the attackers are having a good time.
Yeah, it's a defender-sided map, and this I think this shows the
make
gap
'em
between
dance.
the skill level here. The Impaler, they don't have anything special in their lineup. Like I would say, like they don't have two initiators or two duelists to open things up. It's one initiator, one
Blinded.
duelist, and they're winning these attack side rounds because they just have a lot of firepower. And they're just getting kills left and right. Dodona making so much space, always with that double satchel into the site, supported by the bridge flash, guarantees the site almost every single time. But CC
Spike
is
planted.
gonna kill Envious with those sheriff, and SXG
For
are
you.
actually all coming from the back.
Wrong buddy out.
Okay. Well, maybe with the exception of the sky above, but still
Here.
the wall is in place, which makes it a little bit more difficult. The Impaler should be aware of this. But here we go. Dodona goes in for the P, tries to crouch spray away, but does not connect as Drev finds the headshot.
Healing.
Now, it's going to be this one-sided defense. They have to make it hold all the way on the side of elbow, or
One
the
enemy
side
remaining.
itself. Of course, though, the Sheriffs will not be able to connect. It's a very difficult shot to hit, and the Impaler takes the win, 6-1.
I want to point out something I never noticed before, but the breach, you know, you have the ultimate indicator, the yellow icon over the agent portrait. It turns green when you actually use your ultimate, and Breach's one turns green as he uses ult and lingers there. And the linger is the stun time. So it actually tells you, can actually indicate whether someone's still stunned or not.
Oh my god, I never
If
knew
I'm not
that.
wrong. I'm not sure. I'll have to double check that, but it seems like the green is there for a while, like after the ult.
Well, that's actually pretty big information if you're able to exploit it, but still, at least for now, it's the Impaler, and I think it really is this sort of breach plus raise combo. I mean, you know, I guess you might see a Jet dashing in, but well, this time around, Envious walks in and gets her face planted by CC's Vandal. Spike dropped as
down,
well, and that is disastrous. All players exposed right now. It's down to a 2v5 potential flawless round for SXG. I
player
don't want to call it too
standing.
early, but here we go. Oh,
Not flawless anymore. MoTX is gonna make it a little bit expensive, but does not get any more than 2.
yeah, I think things kind of fell apart when maybe it's, you know, they worked a lot better when it's just these full-on executes, with, like at least on A side, the Donut just double blast pack in, Mochi with the flashpoints to blind everyone, Kifradati lurking over by ramps. This time, you know, slow push up towards mid, and Envious did not quite have anything to secure her entry. She just face checked it almost, which just immediately gets punished. And this time, CC, wow, actually using the showstopper hyper aggressively, but not able to find anything, because look at where the Impaler players are. They're just hanging
They ran
tight
out.
all the way at the back.
You saw them
Zero
just
information.
run. Oh, but this actually kind of baits them into rotating to the other side. Look, A is completely open now. Like after I push forward,
Ooh.
they kind of felt like, oh, they're not going to be A, and instead they rotate away from it. They have no information on B or on mid,
Yeah.
so they're gonna have to
my
guess
God.
here.
If they explode over onto A site, they could potentially take it down because
Bomb grenade out.
she is the only one on this A site. The paranoid does not blind her though, and wow, the donut actually goes up towards Kevin. He's dead. The spike does drop,
Spike
but
down
Loki makes
A.
it an even trade. Spike should be coming in soon. Has her rolling up.
One enemy remaining.
There we go. They're already dead, so it's not even an issue. DD last one left alive, and Envious knows exactly where to look. 7-2. And this is the kind of execute that they need. Either that was a really good and smart read, knowing that CC would use her showstopper in that fashion, or they just reacted that quickly and did not give any information up. That was brilliant.
Yeah. The information denial is extremely important, especially in an event like Split, where you want their rotations to come in as soon as possible. But then also, I want to point out that I think that's the second Rolling Thunder we've seen, because Mochi X combination of like getting the orbs, getting the plants, getting the kills, it just allows her to do that. And they still have the lockdown as well on SXG side. They haven't used it yet. So I feel like this lockdown could be utilized a bit more. I don't think she's used it once on the
going out.
Yeah, not yet. She's always using it to open up sides, but now playing it a little bit slow. 4 players up towards mid. And the rest of the SXG squad are kind of scattered, but that is definitely going to open things up. The shot from kind of, I guess, the other side of mail room up towards B Heaven. Now Jua is the only one. Has her Sheriff. Of course, difficult to connect. Now they wall off and back to Sarah. Vivi's the only one, and she's in towards garage. Surely the donut knows. Wow!
What?
Oh my god, Envious, what the heck was that?
I think she saw the head through the gap in the smoke. There's a little bit of a gap on the left side. Oh no, she was on top. She was on top of wood. That's why you can actually see through that smoke.
right.
There's an angle where it gets better because you see over the dome. Yes.
My god, that's brilliant. actual
It became a one-way of sorts.
for the Impaler.
One enemy remaining.
Oh my god, what? Timing? She just shot through the smoke and got a headshot. Excuse me?
I have no words for that.
God, dude. Wait, what is happening now? The Impaler players are just... Dude, this is a whole other level. I mean, timing is one thing because you can kind of guess and read, like, okay, they're going to take this much time to rotate over onto spawn, and then you guess... kind of make a guess and then just randomly spray. But that looks dead on. And now we're at 8 and 2.
On the defense side of the map too. So this is really scary for SXG. And the Impaler are really showing what they're capable of here. Immediate opening frag from K4Daki as well, but there will be a res onto CC. So I'm not sure what they can do here. They have a bit of mix of Spectres and Phantoms and kind of like a half-ish buy. Oh, that's she hasn't done that before, but she immediately just clears elbow. They did not expect 2 on the side though, and she actually gets a kill. And the Donut is gonna go for that trade. It's down to 3v3. They just didn't expect 2 people playing elbow there.
Yeah, and definitely did not expect a Donut to be on the other side again as well, but now the spike will go down. It's back to a 3v2 retake as CC and Vivi are the only ones left alive. Smoke go out to deny
last player standing.
Grabs, but okay. Might not have heard CC drop down because of the shots earlier, but immediate reaction from Envious makes it an even trade. And of course, 9-2
last round before the switch.
This is the last round of the first half, and the Impaler, I mean, they have the ultimates. I mean, well, I guess SXG does as well, but on defense, it might be a little bit more difficult for them to use that effectively. And the Donut's just doing such a great job. I mean, this A site is practically her home every single round. Well, not every single round, but the way that she double blast packs in towards elbow, it's something that SXG has not adapted to yet.
Yeah, they should be actually ready to punish that. I think if they were playing elbow, they could actually punish that while she's in midair still. But it feels like they just don't. And let's see if they can actually get another round on board, because 3-9 is going to be an okay start here. Both Killjoy lockdowns. Mid?
Oh. Okay, one is being used for mid, and I assume, yeah, that's the defender one. And then the attacking one is used to sell a fake, as they call rotates around the B side, but the spike is being planted on A. So this is either SXG trying their best to read what the Impaler are doing, but the Impaler are just 200 IQ picking a bait and switch play. You guys got debated. Now they're trying to go back in towards A heaven, but Envious is already shutting every single one down. Headshots to the face. Make that a third one. It's all up to the last player, Juan, coming in from the back. Oh my god, the Donut even knew where she was. 10-2. And that's the score at the end of the first half. And attacker side at half for Impaler, mind you.
Yeah, I was gonna say that they SXG want this as the 3-9 because they're probably gonna have a better next half. Then I realized, oh, actually they're on the disadvantage side on the second half. So the Impaler really showing up here, and they're just too strong right now.
Truly. And if you think about it, kind of all comes down to this pistol round at the start of the second half. If the Impaler wins this, it's potentially a very easy match point for them. If SXG wins this, on the other hand, then they stand to come back into the game. So very crucial that SXG does not give up this round right now.
Shadows traveling.
Yeah, they're gonna have to win this pistol round, otherwise that's just straight up match, pretty much straight up match point for them.
Wall is up. They're leading in with a Trailblazer from Sky. They managed to secure ropes, but wow, I mean, just the Impaler seems to know how to play around this. The alarm bot is up on the other side of ropes as well, and now Envious just instantly gets the peek on the Vivi, who not trigger happy, tapped away, but the shots didn't quite connect towards the head. Now Jue, though, able to pick up one. There's a second player coming, and the paint shells now will
Oh
explode.
no!
Oh,
With the
from underneath her.
ice.
My God. That's a Sage plus
One enemy
that's
remaining.
And then Envious, able to take one more down. It's back to a 1v2 situation. Saki, able to maybe get the spike down, but still a 1v2. She needs to make her shots count.
30 seconds left.
Has one Hawk too, so not the worst. This is actually possible. But she's hesitating.
She tried to fake it just to get the timing, but unfortunately, though, Donut with the frenzy connects to the head.
I don't know. I feel a bit iffy about that one. I mean, it just kind of
Just
seems
stick
like yeah, just stick it because you don't hear any sounds, and of course, maybe you want to check to make sure that they are not, shift walking in towards you, but. If you keep tapping and of course you just take that extra time to be extra cautious, the Impaler are using that time to actually, because they were all over by mid, so if she stuck it, she would have gotten the spike down, but well, 11-2, and it just seems like SXG aren't getting a good read, but well, quickly dismissing that one panel will allow the Boombot to push into notes. Rudo!
Spike down mid.
That's it. Jed pushes up, probably gonna die. Heals herself back up, but
Last player
there she
standing.
is. It's all up to the last player. She not gonna connect either.
Yeah.
It could be lag.
Match
Yeah, it
point.
could be. It's a ping that they're playing from, again, SXG are playing from China, and it just looks really bad for them right now. The Impaler are just extremely dominant, and they're still in the judges. They did have to force buy those. SXG are actually at a gun disadvantage, even coming into round number 3 for this half, because they lost that force just now.
Reset the tempo.
Tremendous gun disadvantage. Spectres, light armor. You're gonna have to. I mean, how do you win a round like this?
The Impaler have been dominating every single team they've played up against this Open 3. 13-2 against Phenomenal, 13-2 against Wolfpink, 13-1 against Fuma Angels, and now it looks like they're just going to secure another 13-2 for themselves. Especially looking at the economy right now, the game situation, it just looks like it's going to be another... this match point is something that they're to lose.
Well, 1 minute left on the clock. Well, if we take a look at how the Impaler are positioning themselves right now, maybe from the earlier utility, they're kind of banking on the fact that it's going to be mid. Of course, the Donut and all the judges and all the
Enemy
Kingsmen are just
remaining.
going to shoot everyone
Spike
down, but
mid.
they kind of TV all the way on A. It was kind of open. She could have,
Defenders win.
I don't know, went in to clear the site, but going up ramps, of course, that is going to be game over. 13-2. Like you said, Marquis, they're dominating their competition in this Group C stage.
It's just extreme dominance by them, and looking at the scoreboard, all 5 players are actually on top of the scoreboard. The bottom half is just all SXG because of their team play. They got kills across the board. Donut, of course, being the opening fragger, has the top frag by far, and
Oh my god.
it's extremely high. Anything average combat score of above 400 is ridiculous. She almost hit 450, and it's just really insane. Just how much she's been doing for her team, and not to discount anyone else from her team, by the way. They are all doing great except Donut is just taking all the kills for herself. You know what I mean? There's no. They're not getting kills, not because they're losing the fights or they're missing their shots, but there's no one to kill if Donut kills everyone else.
That is absolutely true. And of course, I guess there is this round where Mochi managed to pick up the very first pistol round, with the classic. That was beautiful. I mean, I really think it's just unfortunate for SXG. There is that ping difference, and of course, maybe that's part of the reason why they weren't able to react to the Donut just blast packing in towards the A site like that. But
Possibly.
it is what it is. I guess this kind of just happens. But wait, do they get sent to the lower bracket?
Yes. So SXG going to lower.
So they're not out of this tournament yet. They could still come back in and maybe make it to playoffs, but for now, that is kind of the game. And yeah, they're gonna, like our producer said, we'll be making it to the lower bracket finals. This has it's incredible because even okay, yes, there is that ping difference, but you see these plans and executes from the Impaler. Double class packing onto a site like that's a skill that you need to practice and
Yep.
rehearse.
And
It's
she
not
always
something that you
reaches the elbow every single
yeah,
time.
it's something that she's definitely spent some time in a custom game doing that again and again. So you can see that they are dedicated.
Yeah, and we are going to cast. That will be the last game, by the way. The lower bracket finals, SXG versus the winner of Fuma Angels versus Asteria, which I actually don't know who's going to win between those two. So that's going to be our lower bracket grand finals, and we are for this group at least. Lower bracket finals, sorry, not lower bracket grand finals. That kind of doesn't make sense. Lower bracket finals for this for today for Group C will be SXG versus the winner of Fuma Angels versus Asteria. That game was really, really fast. It didn't even take half an hour because it was extremely one-sided. So it was something to watch. And the Impaler, they're gonna go really far in this tournament. Excited to watch them even more. But at the same time, I want to see how SXG performs against Fuma Angels or Asteria.
Yeah, and that remains to be decided. We're going to go for a quick break, and then we'll be right back, and we will find out who's going to be facing off against SXG in this lower bracket finals. And of course, I guess congratulations to Impaler because they already qualify for the playoffs, and we'll be seeing more of them tomorrow. Of course, I want to see them play against Alter Ego Celeste, but we shall see. I mean, any thoughts on the game so far, Marquis?
I think that we clearly see one team shining above the rest. The other teams are, I would say, more or less on a similar level. But for Group C, there is one clear, stronger team, and I feel like I want to see them. I said it earlier, but I want to see them against Alter Ego Celeste, who have been the reigning queens of the tournament, and maybe second place will be up for grabs now that Mad Army is gone, and we'll see.
We shall see. I mean, well, Mad Army might be gone, but we still have Yoki and Arakat Aresta, which, I think Arakat Aresta were about like third place, right, in the overall FSL Valorant rankings. And aside from that, the rest of the team, they did form up with another new team called Oasis Gaming or something like that, if I remember
Oasis.
correctly.
It's I believe, a Filipino org.
Kind of, yeah, something. Well, it's certainly interesting, but more interestingly, we actually have a team that the game's not being streamed right now, but it's Singaporean streamers, and they are playing in the Group D stages. Unfortunately, it's not streamed, but they are pretty good. I mean, so far they've been making their way through the brackets that we can see, but yeah, I don't know. It's not we can't see it on stream. Maybe, hopefully, they make it to playoffs, and we'll be able to cast their games tomorrow.
Yeah, it seems like they've been playing pretty well, but we'll see if we'll just call their name out, Glitch Pop Cult. I am also part of that. I did buy Glitch Pop Operator, right? It's taking my money, but they are making a strong lower bracket run. On the upper bracket of their group is Oasis Gaming, of course, and Arakat Aresta. So it's going to be the ex-Med Army players playing against each other.
That's going to be interesting. All right. Well, aside from that, if you guys want to watch the rest of the FSL Valorant streams, we got the ones in Bahasa Indonesia. Of course, that's on YouTube. And the one in Thai, which is on Twitch. Of course, I think that would be Group A and B, respectively. It's somewhere in the Facebook streams description. So if you want to check that out, you may do so. Of course, this is all thanks to Intel, who help us keep our lights on. At least not the lights on in my room, but the FSL Valorant lights on. And it's really awesome that they enable us to do all this. I mean, shout outs to Yahoo as well. I think, they've been writing, if I'm not wrong, articles about how the FSL Valorant Opens have been running. That's pretty nice.
They've got a lot of coverage for the Southeast Asian Valorant scene, so just go take a look. They featured some of the male teams as well. So I think Yeah, it's gonna be a good read. So if you guys need to read up on Valorant, if you haven't been catching up with the action, there's a lot of things to read up on. And the Valorant scene has been pretty great so far. And FSL, of course, is showing us how the women in Valorant are actually also competitive in this game.
Yeah, truly, they really are. The Impalers really, really are. And I just can't wait to see more of them tomorrow. But we still have the lower bracket finals, so don't go away, guys. We'll be right back after this break. It's SXG versus
Winner Fuma Ames
winner
versus
of
Asteria.
not yet, but we'll see.